On the 1st of October 1960, Nigeria gained its independence from Britain after nearly 6 decades of colonial rule. Fast forward to 63 years later, Nigeria has become one of the most influential countries, not only in Africa, but the world. Today, Nigeria is referred to as the Giant of Africa. In this video, we shall be shining the light on Nigeria, dissecting how this country rose from this in the 70s to this. And we shall be examining why this country, despite being blessed with both human and natural resources, still have more than 40% of its people living below the poverty line. Nigeria is a country located in West Africa, bordered by Niger, Chad, Cameroon, Benin, and the Gulf of Guinea to the south. With a population of over 210 million people spread across 923,769 square kilometers of land, Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa and the 7th most populous country in the world. Nigeria is known for its cultural diversity, rich history, and vibrant cities. The country is currently one of the most visited countries in Africa, with over 7 million annual visitors, according to the Nigerian Tourism Board, and also hosts some of the largest multinational in the world. Nigeria's large population puts the country at an advantage when it comes to several aspects, and the same massive population also puts the country in a lot of pain and misery. So let's begin this video on a bright side. The good. Over the years, Nigeria has developed itself to becoming the giant of Africa, not just because of its massive population, but the country currently have the largest economy in Africa. As of 2023, the nominal GDP of Nigeria stands at $504 billion, which makes it occupy the first position in Africa and places the country amongst the top 30 most powerful economies in the world. Over the past few decades, the country has undergone significant economic growth and transformation, becoming a key player in global trade and investment. The Nigerian economy is heavily dependent on the oil and gas sector, which accounts for around 90% of the country's total exports and around 50% of government revenue. Despite this, the country has made significant progress in diversifying its economy in recent years, with a particular focus on developing the non-oil sector and promoting investment in sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and technology. Agriculture is a key sector in the Nigerian economy, accounting for around 20% of GDP and employing around 60% of the workforce. The country has a large and fertile land area and favorable climate conditions that make it well suited for agricultural production. Major crops produced in Nigeria include cocoa, rubber, palm oil, and cassava. The government has made efforts to improve agricultural productivity and expand access to credit and other resources for smallholder farmers. Another sector that has seen significant growth in recent years is the technology sector. Nigeria has a large and growing population of young people who are increasingly connected to the internet and interested in technology and innovation. The country has produced several successful tech startups in recent years, such as Paystack, Flutterwave, and Andela. The government has also launched initiatives to support the development of the tech sector, such as the Innovation Fund for Nigerian Startups. Manufacturing is another sector that has significant potential for growth in Nigeria. The country has a large and growing population and a strategic location that makes it well suited for manufacturing and trade. The government has launched initiatives such as the Nigerian Industrial Revolution Plan and the National Enterprise Development Program to support the development of the manufacturing sector and attract investment. The Nigerian government has made efforts to improve the business environment and promote investment in the country. In 2020, the government launched the Economic Sustainability Plan, a package of measures aimed at mitigating the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy and promoting growth and job creation. The government has also implemented reforms to improve the ease of doing business, such as the establishment of a one-stop shop for business registration and the introduction of visa on arrival for foreign investors. Another sector that has made Nigeria a powerhouse is its entertainment industry. Nigeria, hands down, has the most powerful entertainment industry in Africa. Both its music, film, and fashion industry are the best on the continent. Nigeria has produced some of the best and highest-grossing movies on the continent, and its music has been dominating the continent for over 20 years. Some of Africa's biggest stars, such as Davido, Two-Face, Tiwa Savage, and Funke Akindele, are all from Nigeria. The country is also home to some of the richest people in the world, including the richest black man, Aliko Dangote. Though Nigeria might not have the best infrastructures in Africa, but its cities such as Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port Harcourt has witnessed significant improvement in recent years. The country's real estate industry has grown significantly with some of the most luxurious and smart homes in Africa. In fact, House Ikoyi, in Lagos, owned by African female billionaire Fowler Alakija, is said to be the most expensive house in Africa, estimated at $700 million. Places such as Banana Island and Maitana District in Nigeria is said to be the neighborhood of billionaires. Several infrastructural projects such as Eco-Atlantic, railways, express roads, bridges, and hydroelectric plants are currently ongoing, which will be a game changer in the country upon completion. Nigeria is arguably the #1 country in Africa when it comes to display and promotion of culture, which can be seen in their movies and music videos. Nigerians are extremely proud of their cultures, and they protect them jealously. The country has a wide range of Victor Moses, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Alex Iwobi. The bad. Just like many other African countries, Nigeria has its fair share of challenges, which has caused a lot of pain and malaise on the people of Nigeria. Nigeria is a complex and diverse country that has faced significant challenges throughout its history, which has left the country in bad shape. Some of these challenges include: 1. Corruption. Corruption is pervasive at all levels of government and society, and has undermined public trust and confidence in political institutions. Corruption is a pervasive problem in Nigeria that undermines public trust in government institutions and hinders economic growth and development. Weak law enforcement, inadequate transparency and accountability mechanisms, and a culture of impunity are among the factors contributing to corruption in the country. While the Nigerian government and international partners have launched initiatives to address corruption, significant challenges remain in tackling this complex issue. 2. Political instability. Nigeria has experienced significant political instability throughout its history, including military coups, political assassinations, and electoral violence. This instability has undermined democratic institutions and processes and has contributed to public distrust of the political system. 3. Electoral violence. Elections in Nigeria have often been marred by violence, particularly in the run-up to elections and during the announcement of results. Electoral violence has undermined public trust in the electoral process and has sometimes led to the loss of lives and property. 4. Insecurity. Insecurity is a significant problem in Nigeria, particularly in the northeastern part of the country where the Boko Haram insurgency is ongoing. The country has also experienced other forms of violence, including communal clashes, banditry, and kidnappings. 5. Boko Haram insurgency. The Boko Haram insurgency is a major security challenge in Nigeria, particularly in the northeastern part of the country. The group has carried out numerous attacks on civilians, government officials, and security forces, and has caused widespread displacement and humanitarian suffering. 6. Human rights abuses. Human rights abuses are a significant challenge in Nigeria, including extrajudicial killings, arbitrary detention, and torture. These abuses have been committed by security forces, as well as by non-state actors such as Boko Haram. All these challenges has left Nigeria in a very bad state. The country is one of the most corrupt in the world. Its passport is one of the weakest. Its currency, the Nigerian naira, which used to be very strong, is currently losing its value. And the standard of living in the country is getting lower and lower with each passing day. The misery. Although Nigeria has the largest economy in Africa and some of the richest people in Africa, Nigeria is one of the poorest countries in the world, with over 40% of the population living below the poverty line of less than $1 a day, which is approximately 90 million people living in acute misery. Poverty is especially acute in rural areas, where the majority of the population lives. Most people don't have access to electricity, portable water, decent education, and healthcare. Unemployment is a major challenge in Nigeria, particularly among young people. The official unemployment rate was around 33% in 2020, but youth unemployment is much higher, at around 44%. This has made the youthful population to flee the country by any means possible. Many Africans, especially Nigerians, now use dangerous routes such as the Darien Gap in South America and the Sahara Desert and Red Sea just to get to Europe and America. Due to hardship and misery and the desire to change their stories, many Nigerians have died embarking on these dangerous routes. Nigerians are now scattered all over the New World to the deplorable conditions of their country. These factors contribute to the misery of many Nigerians, who are unable to access basic services and opportunities. Addressing these challenges will require sustained efforts by the Nigerian government, civil society organizations, and international partners to promote inclusive economic growth, improve healthcare and education, and tackle corruption and insecurity. To conclude, Nigeria is a strong country with so much potentials and enough resources to go round, but due to bad governance, greed, and insecurity, the country is still struggling and lagging behind. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel